Good morning, everyone. I realized I've got to make these videos way earlier than I have been. So busy. It's just so busy all the time. So busy now with these children. It's morning time and it's evening time. I've said that now I don't know how many times. And I look tired, don't I? But it's been fun. It's just been so much fun. Every day is fun. Okay, yesterday we had a bit of a trying day. uh, it's I believe that children should play on their own and kind of do their own thing. Yes, but one should always have a listening ear and see what's going on. Yes, yeah. I think that often children don't realize, am I bullying someone now or not? Right, especially when they're this young. And I feel one has to step in. One has to step in and correct the situation as an adult. And if one doesn't do that, then how are they going to learn? Even then, as an adult, certain things you just don't do to other people. Yes. So what happened yesterday? I noticed that we had an extra child here from the neighborhood, and okay, she's a great kid too. Yes, but she has this one habit where she separates out one of the children, and that's the one she wants to play with, and then everyone else is kind of excluded. And it's kind of sad to see and how that kind of worked. And okay, I went until I said, okay, enough. And then the back talking started. And I went, ooh, I don't like that. So uh, I gathered them all together and we had a talk. Yes. But otherwise, everything was great. Again, just a wonderful day. And with great times and fun. Yes, when you're around children, there always comes what? There has to be some discipline, yes, and teaching, yes, correcting some things, yes, that are going on, and that is why children shouldn't be just left on their own devices. Oh, they're fine, they're fine. Are you sure they're fine? Just saying. Then I saw something. Oh, and we went berry picking. We went blackberry picking and picked a whole bunch of them and made a pie. That Swiss pie. I'll give you the recipe for that. It's a great pie. It's a little bit different, but I remember growing up on Fridays. I grew up Catholic. We wouldn't eat meat. That's in our household. We wouldn't eat meat every Friday. It would either be fish, but more so this pie. Yes, that's what we had for lunch. Lunch is the big meal in Switzerland, not dinner. It's lunch, and we would have this pie. It's called a Weihe. Often, very often, and we all loved it. And my mom was great at making it. If she didn't buy it, that was a big thing on Fridays. You buy that pie for many people. It's a very simple recipe. You just make you could just get the pie shell or make your own dough, which is very simple, of which my younger granddaughter and I, we made a Mürbeteig, which is a sweet dough, a little bit of a sweet dough. And and that's very simple. It's flour, salt, one egg, a little milk, and then you mix it all, and some sugar, and you mix it all up. Yeah, and you can again, it just depends on how much sugar you want in it. Your tablespoon, 3 tablespoons. That's up to you. Oh, and butter, of course, butter. And we used a whole stick of butter for just one pie shell. Oh, it came out great. And so you mix it all up. And it doesn't have to be kneaded a whole lot. This is not that type of dough. And then you just roll it out and put it in. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you take the berries just as they are, wash them, and lay them on the dough in the shell, in the pie shell, and then you get about a cup of for for just a pie shell, a cup of milk, uh, another tablespoon of sugar, and one egg, and you mix that, blend that up, and mix it up, and then you pour it over top. 375 in the oven for about 40 minutes. Done, and it's delicious. Well, it checks every thing on the food pyramid. Yes, yeah. So, came out delicious. The pie lasted for about 30 minutes. That was it. And that was eaten. Everybody got some. So we're going to make some more. There's more berries. So we're going to make some more. It was so good. Everybody loved it. So hadn't made that pie in quite some time. All right. So then I saw another one. And it just, is that really how guys feel out there like that? A picture of a guy, and he's like what father's sacrifice. And here's this guy, and he's kind of muscled, and he's carrying this platform, on his shoulders and his back, and he's like, like this, looking like that, and on top of it is a house and a car and a wife and a couple of kids, and they're not doing anything. So just and I looked at that picture and I'm going, wow, really? This is how guys feel about being a husband and a father, having a family? Really? And I went and looked in the comments, and people said, "Oh yeah, that's exactly how it is." And I'm going, "Really? This is how you guys feel like that? Feel about family? Having your own family? That's such a cross to you, such a burden." Well, then I have to say, be brutally honest with you. Why don't you just go and get fixed, huh? Before you get sexually active. Done. Right? Yes. And why would anyone that that's a man creates a family that way, creates the continuation of his lineage? Right? Just saying, man. And what is there more fulfilling in life than to do that? What are you here for then? Well, just asking. And one guy came in and says, "Well, what about the woman's sacrifice?" Okay, I'm sorry. What did I sacrifice? I had 4 children. I thought I had a great marriage. Yes, and anything that I was a part of to build up with my husband and my children, I loved. It went from one success to the other, the next success. It was work. It's a lot of work, but I loved it. I loved doing the work. I loved raising my children. I loved reading up on things. How can I do things even better? Right? What's healthier for our family? What will make things even better for my family? Right? Yes, and that included having the best spiritual guidance, which for me was the Unification Church and True Parents. Yes? Okay. And the Divine Principle, with the Bible included, of course. So, what? That was all? Oh, yeah. So what do I get? How? I wouldn't want to be a part of anything like that. That picture. Oh, sitting on top. No, how about making one for the women on how they, okay, just saying. What is that? Are people really looking at that, life like that out there? It's very sad. I looked at them and go, golly, why? Don't have children. Don't get married. Go get fixed. Then, I don't know, live under a bridge or something. I don't know. Or in your car, in your truck. Which brought me to I thought, many guys, right? I've often seen guys, men, take really good care of their cars. They have nice trucks, nice car. Okay, the trucks is the thing, right? And my dad, my stepdad was like that too. I mean, his car, man, it was always. I mean, it got a bath. I bet you once a week, and then buffed and waxed and all that jazz. Okay? That car inside always looked immaculate. Okay, and I think I was in it. In Switzerland, you don't take a whole lot of trips in cars like they do here. You walk everywhere, unless you go on a trip or something. So I think I sat in that car a few times, a few times, taking a trip somewhere, a few times. And when my mom got remarried, I was already 14. So anyway, but he took such good care of his car. He also took really, really good care of our house. Really good care of our house. There was nothing ever. Just if my mom said, honey, the faucet's leaking, it would be fixed the next day, if not the same day. With anything, it was like that. Around the house, same thing. There was nothing ever not working. Ever. And he also took very, very good care of my mom when it came down to it. Yes. And us as well, when he got the chance to be a part of our lives. In the sense of he's a stepfather, we're already older children in a way. Yes. Loved when we would go and visit, he loved my children. He just, I'd never get this picture out of my mind where he and one of my daughters, younger daughters, uh, were sitting at the kitchen table, and he loved peanuts in the shell. So he would, get the peanuts out, and here was my daughter, and she was about 2 or 3, and she'd be standing there on the next to him. They had a bench, a corner bench there by the kitchen table, and she'd be standing there, more, more. And he'd be, yeah, okay, and handing her more, and taking it out of the shell, and they would be eating peanuts for 30 minutes or something. Just very meticulous man. And when it came to many things, and he had to work hard for that. He grew up in a household where there was very little, where the dad got the sausage and the children got the ends of the sausage. Okay, that's kind of how it was. And so I think from what I've seen, when a guy takes really good care of his car, he most likely takes really good care of his family as well. Yes? Yeah? Don't know. Is it always true? Don't know. So, are the guys out there really so disillusioned and feel like that? Oh my God! Really? Our purpose in life is to bring God joy. When a man creates a family, yes, and takes good care of the family, it should be done with a joyful heart, not one where I'm sacrificing. What are you sacrificing exactly? I'm not sure. When you get to a point in your life, what you here for? What are you here for? So, anyway. And how, if guys agree with something like this, where, I'm not saying that they're not, I'm sure they have, oh, gosh, how am I going to do this time? But if it's done with such a, I doubt that his wife and his children, his surroundings are happy. It is also man's responsibility to create happiness around them with what they've created. Of course, together with the wife. But kind of get my drift here? Yeah. Anyway, there's just some stuff out there to say, golly goodness, serious people. I wanted to go in and write a book on that post, but I didn't. I'm talking a book here now. All right. So we only have 2 more to go in Judith, then we're in Esther. Not even gonna say a whole lot about it. Let's just see. I have these hopes. My hopes are dashed. All right. We are in the book of Judith 15. And I've got to do this earlier again. I had to write down, and again, I feel God's with me all the time. So, but I realized that that's not how it is for everyone. And yesterday was one of those days. I'm looking at the children going, what have we not been doing again? Why are we a little off balance here? Oh, prayer. So I got it right. I'm done. I'm done with this Larry stuff. So look, I wrote it down, prayer. And then a friend of mine, thank you, Eldridge, if you are watching, also had a post about prayer. And I'm going, yep, I'm getting the guidance. Thank you very much. And I've got to. Right? Yes, yeah. It's not enough for me to just pray. Okay, is it not enough? It is not enough for me to just pray that everything goes well every day and that I thank my heavenly parent, and of course not my will, right, it being done. Yet to just have an inward spiritual foundation, not always good enough. Right? In the physical foundation is right, to remember every day to take the children aside and say, let's pray together. Right? Yes? Okay. Yeah, we get too busy. Suddenly the half a day is already gone. Then I'm going, Then in the evening I'm going, what happened to our prayer again? Right? Now I wrote it down. We're not going to miss out on that. Exactly. This isn't a have to, gotta pray. No, don't miss out on prayer. Right? Yes. Okay. The children love it, by the way. I'm surprised that they're not coming more. But they're so busy too. That's morning till night. Just busy. Book of Judith 15. When the men who were still in their tents heard the news, they were appalled, panic-stricken, and trembling. No two of them could keep together. Okay, this was after they found out that Holofernes was dead. His head was gone. The rout was complete. With one accord, they fled along every track across the plain or through the mountains. The men who had been bivouacking yeah, I know what that is. Camping, kind of camp. In the mountains around Petulia were fleeing too. Then all the Israelite warriors charged down on them. Uzziah sent messengers to Betomastim, Bebai, Jobah, Kolah, throughout the whole territory of Israel, to inform them of what had happened and to urge them all to hurl themselves on the enemy and annihilate them. As soon as the Israelites heard the news, they fell on them as one man and massacred them all the way to Jobah. The men of Jerusalem and the entire mountain country also rallied to them, once they had been informed of the events in the enemy camp. Then the men of Gilead and Galilee attacked them on the flank and struck at them fiercely till they neared Damascus and its territory. All the other inhabitants of Petulia fell on the Assyrian camp and looted it to their great profit. The Israelites, returning from the slaughter, seized what was left. The hamlets and villages of the mountain country and the plain also captured a great deal of booty, since they were vast stores of it. Okay, well, there's more of it. So, Why not? Oh, they're fleeing. We got access to our water again. Let's everybody else know that they're, and just don't give them any entrance. Let them go home to their families. Don't you think it's interesting on how, if I look at it a little bit differently here, so as I said, there's one general, so he's dead. So what? What if he were to fall in war while they were fighting somewhere? So then what? They also be all fleeing? I mean, what's war all about? Don't you die in war? You either survive because you're stronger, or I don't know, luckier than some others, or right? But when it comes down to it, war is about killing each other, isn't it? All right. Well, who was on the offensive here? All right. But still, what they talk about other leaders there, so they were other generals. Interesting how they mentioned that. Oh, there were the general, the main general, and then the other ones they didn't call them generals, right? Of certain sections of the army that they had there. No, they call them leaders. What? Interesting. So here they are. They're all running away. Oh, we're no, no, we got no guidance. It's almost as if, thank God, let's go home. Let's run home. We're done. We good excuse now. Hey, the head is gone. We don't have no guidance anymore. There's no leadership going on anymore, which is not true. Drop their weapons and run. They're done. One guy gone and the whole army falls apart? Seriously? Sounds to me like, as I said, foot soldiers. Huh? They don't want to be there. They want to be at home with their wives and children. Note that? Yes? And here, what are the Israelites doing again? Well, but I'm just saying, this is never going to work. One's going to have to just give in and start showing better judgment when it comes to certain things. Yes? Oh, what did I mention to begin with? Show better judgment as a man when you are starting to create a family. I mean, in this day and age, some people still don't know what happens when you have sex with someone. Just saying. All right, between a man and a woman? Huh? Seriously? Still don't know? Wow. Huh. Just saying. Here. To use better judgment. I wish the Israelites use better judgment now. Okay. Wow. All right. Thanks, Judith. Did us a great service. Now we can get back to water. I find it sad that, okay, I'm not going to. But here we go. I'm just saying. Yes, yeah. Am I allowed to have a little bit of a different opinion? I think I do. Yeah, look at it a little different. I'm such a burden as a woman, as a wife, as a mother to a guy. I'd like to know that ahead of time, next time. Just say. Thanksgiving. Joachim the high priest and the entire council of elders of Israel who were in Jerusalem came to gaze on the benefits that the Lord had lavished on Israel and to see Judith and congratulate her. On coming to her house, they blessed her with one accord, saying, "You are the glory of Jerusalem. You are the great pride of Israel. You are the highest honor of our race." What are they doing here now? By doing all this with your own hand, you have deserved well of Israel, and God has approved. Really? And where did he approve? What you have done. May you be blessed by the Lord Almighty in all the days to come. And the people all said, Amen. The people looted the camp for 30 days. They gave Judith the tent of Holofernes, all his silver plate, his divans, his drinking bowls, and all his furniture. She took this, loaded her mule, harnessed her carts, and heaped the things into them. All the women of Israel, hurrying to see her, formed choirs of dancers in her honor. She already had so much. She needed all that? Ugh, I wouldn't want to be associated with any of that stuff. All right. Judith took wands of vine leaves in her hand and distributed them to the women who accompanied her. She and her companions put on wreaths of olive. Then she took her place at the head of the procession and led the women as they danced. All the men of Israel, armed and garlanded, followed them, singing hymns. Weird. With all Israel around her, Judith broke into this song of thanksgiving, and the whole people sang this hymn. All right, I guess we'll find out what she's saying tomorrow. Yeah, I hear you out there. I'm going to bring this up as the end here one more time. Because I came across something else. To use God, we're still doing it. This is not much different than what has happened with President Trump. I still call him our president. I think that, don't get me wrong, that the election was definitely stolen in 2020. I have no doubt. There's something really wrong. And I mentioned the movie 2000 Mules. It's a documentary about the voting system and stuff. Very well done. And I believe, yep. Election was stolen. There's no way. Anyway. And I thought that President Trump, though, in the beginning of his first term, I wasn't all, there's too much Russian stuff going on, and all that. We're a mafia guy now and as a president. I'm just saying. But realized pretty quickly that, yep, he's actually quite good for this country. And he does put the country in many ways first. Then, yes, the fighting started. Was there not fighting before? Not like this. And then all the stuff that was laid at his feet that said, what are you people nuts? Run the country. What do you have time for this for? Yeah, talking to the Democrat politician. Democrats. Not the whole country of whoever wants to be a Democrat. Not talking about to them. Talking about the politicians who are supposed to run this country together. Okay? Regardless. And kind of the path that President Trump, that is a God almighty resilient guy. That dude is so resilient. That's amazing to me. And when the assassination attempt happened, the people are saying, God's on our side. God's on our side. Just like there with Judith. God's on our side. But what people forget is, so the guy that got killed and the other ones that are still seriously injured, about one or two, but God was not with them. That was just a sacrifice. Well, yeah, collateral damage. So God wasn't with them. God was with Trump, but not with the other two. They deserve to die. Their families deserve, the children deserve to not have a dad now. A wife without a husband, that's okay. That is okay. Just us here with Judith, what we just read about God was, and they all ran, and then they went and slaughtered them all, and God was with them. That was, yes. Don't pull God into things like this. Please don't. This has nothing to do with God. Nothing. It's all man-made. It's man-made resentment. It's man-made anger. has nothing to do with any of that. None. I could say more. Right? One can have all kinds of opinions and ideas and thoughts and perspectives on how, so what's right and what's wrong. I think that if we're not willing ourselves to have prayer, not just within us for whatever, but it's got to be around us as well, with the people in it, then we're going to miss out on what the true path of a human being is. Just as if a man does not understand the joys of being a father and a husband, carrying and doing that job well, and carrying the responsibilities to do the best he can, then, yeah, you're probably going to be one of those men under that plate and go, then you're missing something too. Yes? To think that God would protect one person, President Trump, but be okay for the collateral damage that happened. Yeah, no. Then you're just abusing God for your own agenda. Done. The Israelites are abusing God for their own agenda as well. Yes? Just saying. Anywho, so should they just have? I already explained that. It is what it is. Man-made things, war, this and that, not following God's guidance has consequences. Now, what do you want? It is as it is. Then one has to accept the consequences. Try to get onto the true path of our existence. Follow the 10 Commandments, the Lord's Prayer, and the family pledge. Yes? Rather than excuse our behavior then, or our actions that come with the consequences, then we decide, we approve of retaliation, vengeance, or, decide God's on our side. And something like this, or the assassination attempt, no, that's wrong. That's just going to divide things further, rather than we should all acknowledge that was just wrong. What happened in that person's mind? And rather than, okay, what happened there? Somebody very disillusioned followed someone's talking this and that, and goes, yeah. We had this happening yesterday, where we had an instigator and an executioner. The instigator didn't do anything. Just instigated another person to do. You get my drift? Got a good example with two of our dogs, which one of them disappeared. I don't know what happened to him now for a while. Ozzy loved going and chasing the chickens, right? And kind of, like he was going to get one, but he didn't. Right? But Gus, our younger dog, right, who was running with him, we have to be really careful afterwards. We can't let these guys out. Right? Would go with him and see, oh, he's chasing the chickens. Yeah, I can do that too. But he wasn't he didn't leave it at chasing the chickens. He'd get one. You get my drift? So, who influenced this shooter to then take it to the next level? It wasn't just talking anymore. Uh-huh. Just saying. So, where lies the responsibility here? With God? No, okay. It's man-made. Man-made. So, so all the conspiracies out there now, conspiracy theories, oh, it was an inside job, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. Really? Wow, if it was an inside job or this or that, or I don't know what, just kind of a show, and a 20-year-old. So a 20-year-old, 20-year-old, that shooter was, that killer, that murderer, 20 years old. Somebody used a 20-year-old out there to do that? Do something like that? Seriously? Wow. People, if that is the truth, we got a problem. We really do. Big one. I'm going to end with this. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, embrace you with love, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.